Facebook-owned messaging platform WhatsApp informed users it was preparing a new privacy policy. Under the new policy, it could share some data, including location and phone numbers, with Facebook and its other units such as Instagram and the Messenger. The move has sparked a backlash among users in South Africa and elsewhere and prompted many to opt for rival services such as Signal or Telegram. South Africa's Information Regulator says Facebook cannot share any contact information it collects from WhatsApp users with its other properties without first obtaining authorization. We're now joined via Zoom by Professor Lindelo Sizwe. He is a part-time member of the Information Regulator. Thank you so much for making the time this morning. Please explain to us, what can Facebook do with our information and what can't they do by law?
Look, Facebook obviously collects personal information in order to facilitate its service, either be it its messaging service or its telephony service. But with that having been said, it doesn't give them carte blanche now to further share our personal information within the other companies, within the Facebook group, which they have now obviously managed to buy other companies, and they're now attempting to share this personal information with other companies without the consent from the user. And this has been a little bit problematic to say, because, you know, even for one to attempt information matching, there is a thing called prior authorization in terms of POPIA, where you would have to formally apply to the regulator and ask for a prior authorization to do information matching. So the whole notion of giving your personal information to WhatsApp and then getting contacted by one of the other Facebook companies is really a problem, because then obviously it means that the information that they took from you was not solely to give you the WhatsApp service, but it was also done to solicit other services which you may not necessarily want.
As a WhatsApp user, how would I know that my information has been shared with someone else or a company?
Look, it's very difficult to know as to who has shared your personal information with who. However, I mean, it has happened in certain instances, and I don't want to finger WhatsApp or Facebook. I think that would be unfair to them. But it has happened that, you know, you go on a particular social media platform, you share your personal information with that platform, and before you know it, another service that you've never ever even attempted to use are now contacting you and are telling you, plug into our service, we are happy, we can give you access to this and that. That will automatically tell you that your personal information was not only used for the purpose of that service, of that social media service that you were using, but that they are sharing this further with other companies. And this further sharing with companies would obviously then also be a breach in terms of Section 69, because these companies in most instances will then try to sell you their product and their service, and that in itself would also be contrary to the opt-in legislation pertaining to spam.
So in terms of the law, what can a user do to protect their information from being shared?
Yeah, well, I think what is very important is the users need to be educated. We need to appreciate that every single time when we use personal information or when we give our personal information, be it to a social media service, be it to a other application that we may use on our phone, either to get around for map services or any other related services, we must know that we have now given a part away of us. So I think vigilance on the part of the population is very important. Don't just give away your personal information. You must know that in 2021, personal information, the value of it is almost as close as gold or oil 100 years ago, because personal information is harvested and it is used for illegal purposes, and people are making millions out of this misuse of personal information. So the message that I have in terms of protecting yourself, I think don't just click everything that you see. Don't just load every single app that you think you want for your phone. Look at the fact that it has terms and conditions. And if it does ask for personal information, maybe not use it.
I hear what you're saying, you're correct, but it's so difficult in this day and age when people have to transact or engage with companies that require this information. So what will South Africa, the South African Information Regulator, do regarding stopping Facebook and WhatsApp from going ahead with this privacy policy?
Well, what we've done is we've previously contacted WhatsApp in January, once the personal the backlash of this possible infringement of personal information was made public. And we then went and analyzed the WhatsApp policy, and we compared it to the POPIA, which is the legislation governing personal information in South Africa. And we have now sent them a letter.
Sorry, you were saying you've sent a letter?
Yes,
right.
we've sent a letter to the WhatsApp setting out exactly what our concerns are regarding the proposed WhatsApp terms and conditions and how they don't comply possibly with the POPIA. So we've now asked them to engage our office.
All right, that line is not too great, but I imagine you get the gist of what he's saying, and it's a story, of course, that will continue to follow.